All right, we are about to go on a journey that connects, well, pretty much everything from the microscopic to the cosmic, the natural world to the digital world, and our present to our deepest, wildest future. Today, we're exploring the many, many worlds of a single powerful idea cosmos. I know, it totally sounds like the setup for a really weird joke, right? But believe it or not, there is a single powerful idea that links all of these things together. It's a concept that has shaped how we see our world, how we go about building new ones, and honestly, how we grapple with our own future. And here it is. The answer is the word cosmos. It comes to us all the way from ancient Greek, where cosmos meant an ordered world. And this wasn't just about, stars and planets, but about order, harmony, and beauty. The Greeks saw the entire universe as a cosmos because it was this incredible, well-ordered system. In fact, the same root gives us the word cosmoma, which means jewel, and that just perfectly captures this idea of intricate, beautiful order, the exact opposite of chaos. Okay, so our first stop on this journey is to really get that original meaning. How did we first even begin to grasp the idea of a cosmos? Well, we looked at the world around us, from the tiniest details to the absolute grandest spectacle you can imagine. So get this, this is the cosmos flower. And what's so cool is that it was given its name for the exact reason you'd think, because of the beautiful, symmetrical, and incredibly orderly arrangement of its petals. It's like a perfect, tiny little cosmos right here on Earth, a living example of that natural harmony the Greeks were talking about. And of course, the great Carl Sagan took this very idea to millions of people with his 1980 TV series, Cosmos. He took that concept of an ordered, understandable universe and just filled us all with this incredible sense of wonder. And as this quote points out, yeah, the whole Cold War cultural context has changed, but the core message of that show, the sheer beauty and majesty of the universe's order, is absolutely timeless. It really is still one of the most wonderful things you can watch. Okay, so let's move on and see how this idea evolves. We've gone from simply observing the cosmos to trying to actively create our own. We're not just looking at ordered systems anymore, we're trying to engineer them, especially in the digital world. Which brings us to Cosmos, the cryptocurrency project. And that name is no accident, let me tell you. The entire vision here is to create a whole new kind of digital cosmos, what they call an internet of blockchains. The goal is to build an ordered, interconnected universe where thousands of different independent blockchains can all talk to each other and transact seamlessly. And you can really see this story play out in the project's evolution. Atom 1.0 was all about building that foundation, the digital physics of this new universe, you could say. But Atom 2.0, that's all about taking that foundation and helping the ecosystem flourish, adding all these sophisticated new tools to make this digital universe more secure, more efficient, and more interconnected. It's kind of like laying down the groundwork and then cultivating the garden. But here's the thing. Building new worlds, whether they're digital or physical, forces us to ask some really, really tough questions. As we push our boundaries into actual space, we're not just facing technical challenges. We are facing the huge task of creating a new moral order for our own cosmic future. And a fascinating paper from 2025 dives right into these issues, and it's going to be our guide for this part of the journey. It looks at the massive ethical dilemmas of space exploration. We're talking everything from asteroid mining to Mars colonization, all through the lens of philosophy. It asks a simple but absolutely enormous question. What rules should we operate by out there? So the paper lays out 5 key ethical lenses we can use. First up, you've got utilitarianism, which basically asks, what choice creates the greatest good for the most people? Then there's deontology, which says some actions are just plain right or wrong based on unbreakable rules, no matter what the outcome is. You've also got virtue ethics, which focuses on the moral character of the explorers themselves. Fourth is environmental ethics, which asks if we have a duty to protect alien worlds just for their own sake. And finally, feminist ethics, which pushes for inclusivity and social justice in every single decision we make out there. And if you think that's all just abstract philosophy, check this out. This chart lays out a massive practical problem. How do you maintain any kind of ethical oversight when a simple question and answer takes 25 minutes to get to Mars and back, or nearly 3 hours for Saturn? And our nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, a single round-trip message takes almost 9 years. Just think about that. At these kinds of distances, explorers will be making huge decisions completely on their own. And this is where it gets so complicated. Okay, let's take the idea of colonizing Mars. From a utilitarian point of view, you might say, absolutely, the potential to ensure humanity's long-term survival is huge and outweighs the risks. But a deontologist could argue, no way. We have a moral duty not to contaminate another world, period. The potential benefits just don't matter. It's the same problem, with two completely opposite but totally logical conclusions. It all depends on the ethical cosmos you live in. So let's bring this all together now. We've seen cosmos as the order we find in nature, as the subject of our wonder, as a blueprint for new digital worlds, and now as the setting for our deepest ethical challenges. And this really gets to the heart of it. For pretty much all of human history, we have been observers of the cosmos. We found its order reflected in a flower's petals, and we gazed at its grandeur in the night sky. But that is changing, and it's changing fast. We are now becoming the architects of new cosmoses, both online and out there, among the planets and the stars. And that leaves us with one final massive question. As we step into this brand new role as creators, what kind of order, what kind of cosmos are we going to choose to build? Will it be one based on maximizing benefit, on unbreakable rules, on inclusivity, or on respect for the unknown? The answer is going to define not just our future in space, but who we are as a species.